What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Uncanny Cyclops alternate costume. As many of you may know, this is the reward for completing Chapter 2 of Season 2, so you must get 100%. Then we also ended up getting 10 command points, and we will also be getting 5 gold as well. Now for the last two things that we had to do, we had to defeat Sugar Man in a score challenge, and it also happened to be on challenge mode. So we finished all 6 missions on challenge mode. So depending on what order you do things in, you may get slightly different rewards. But as long as you do 100% completion for everything in Chapter 2, you will unlock Uncanny Cyclops, both his blaster and tactician uniform. And he has some really good passives like Uncanny Leadership. Cyclops and his allies have a chance to gain an extra turn after attacking. And also, Don't Die on Me. And Don't Die on Me says attacks that would reduce an ally's health to 0 have a 25% chance to reduce the ally to 1% instead. And I have seen this kick in already. It's pretty amazing because it can help you keep that ally in battle and potentially win because of it. We also received the Golden Glazed Ceramic Knife. And it's a smart weapon, and it puts tenderized and weakened on the opponents. It only hits one enemy though. So we're going to go ahead and use that. And you also will notice that we're using the Uncanny Cyclops with Chapter 1's reward, Heroic Age Iron Fist. I just felt like this team up would be fitting since they were both Chapter Mastery reward costumes. Obviously I've had way more time with the Iron Fist costume, but I can tell you that both of these alternates seem to be really good in combat, especially in PvP. I've had a lot of success with Iron Fist, and just by my limited use of Cyclops, I can tell you he's going to be amazing in PvP as well. Once he starts giving your teammates extra attacks, it's incredible, and it was kicking in quite a bit. And we will be taking a look at him in PvP right after we finish this one PvE battle. One thing about this alternate costume, you do not get a second set of abilities. He still has the same ability set, he just has some different passives. Now unfortunately, since this is an alternate costume, we weren't able to put an empowered ISO in it, but we will be able to once he reaches level 13. And I definitely plan to have a video on empowered ISO out pretty soon, so please stay tuned for that one. As far as this Golden Glazed Ceramic Knife smart weapon, it seems like it mainly just helps the other smart weapons, or at least the ones that benefit from it. Like there's one that increases an attack every time you use a smart weapon. But I have to say, after using it, it's not quite what I expected. I'm really hoping that I like the other ones better. After seeing all the challenge mode versions, there should definitely be some options out there that will help you, especially if you're lacking weapons. Right now we're on the very last enemy of the PvE portion. And then we're going to be using the same exact team, except we're going to switch Cyclops to a tactician. I also believe we're going to go ahead and use the Infiltrator Power Armor on our agent, and change his weapons a little bit. So we're going to finish this one off with the golden weapon from Chapter 2. And now we're moving on to our very first PvP battle. It's going to be against an Uncanny Cyclops and Ares. So it's pretty cool that we're going against an Uncanny Cyclops in our very first match. But they are using the blaster version, and we're using the tactician. So I think we have an advantage here. Their Cyclops does unfortunately get to go first, so he uses Combat Expertise and Mega Optic Blast. It puts incapacitation on 2 out of 3 of my members. By doing that, he does give us tactical maneuvers, so we get to cast evasive maneuvers as well. And right now we do use his level 2 on their blaster agent. I figured I would help out Iron Fist, but really I made a mistake, because it would have been better to go ahead and hit him with the level 1, and place flanked. Then on Cyclops' next turn, I could use his level 2, and I'd also get the follow-up attack with the level 1. But what ends up happening is really fortunate for us. Finish the Fight ends up being procced, and that means he's going to give himself an extra attack. So we're going to get to use that level 1 on their agent. We're going to hit him with that Optic Blast, and it ends up killing him for 40,000 damage. So in our very first match with Uncanny Cyclops, we see that awesome passive ability kick in. We get to finish their agent off before he even gets in action. With Iron Fist, we're going to use his big full team heal. That way we take off debuffs and prevent them. Then we get to scroll away that combat expertise. And now we're going to use the Warbringer Axe on their Uncanny Psych. So that should do at least 50% damage. It actually does a lot more than that, and Finish the Fight pops up once again. So check out the next overpowered passive ability right there on Uncanny Cyclops. With that, we're going to finish their Psych, and we only have to deal with Ares. We do have combat expertise, so we're going to be counterattacking pretty much anything he does. So there's an Optic Blast for 36k. Now he's probably going to do a Crush Your Enemies. That will remove our buffs, but he's still going to get counterattacked by Iron Fist. So that's the end, and it's a massive overkill. Now for our next two battles, we decided to team the father up with his son. I really love Cable right now, especially since the changes. So him with Cyclops I figured would be a pretty powerful combination. For the first match, we do go up against an annoying Rescue and Curative Watch team. So I really hate the Watcher, and I hate Rescue. Although, truthfully, I haven't had any problems with Rescue for a couple seasons now. The best news is they do have a Blaster Agent, and we have that Tactician Cyclops. So we're going to hit him with the level 1, gain tactical maneuvers, then we can use either the Mega Optic Blast, or we could have used the level 2 and got a follow-up attack. But we did go with the Mega Optic Blast, and just like that we get another Finish the Fight proc. So we get yet another attack. This time we will use that level 2. Then we're going to get the flanked follow-up as well, so that'll be another Optic Blast to their agent. And just like that, Cyclops is a one-man wrecking ball. But don't tell Miley. So now their Ares uses Personal War, and we will be counterattacking him. So there's an Optic Blast, and now he has flanked. Next he's going to use Crush Your Enemies, and we'll see how much damage that does. Our agent has Monstrosity, so he can't be stunned. And we actually have an empowered ISO on Cable, so he can't be stunned either. So he's going to get his turn, and we're going to use Temporal Shift on himself. That way we can get 2 attacks if needed on Ares. Let's try to set up his level 1 Paragon Exploiter move by using Techno-Organic Rampage. And this has pressure points on it. Unfortunately, we do get hit with the 10,000 yard stare. So that's going to lower our damage quite a bit. But he does have flanks, so we do get 2 attacks. But Psionic Spikes misses. Either way, let's switch back to his regular form, and we'll use that Plasma Rifle Paragon Exploiter move. It does 36k and finishes Ares. Now there's only Rescue remaining, and what we're going to use is that Goblin Glider, because it exploits flying. So we hit her, and that's the end of the battle. So that was a really quick one. And we're going to do another one with this same exact team. Now I have to be honest, this last battle is a pretty tough one for this team. They have a Tactician, so she's going to get to attack Cable twice. They also are going to cause bleeding with Elektra. She's going to be stealthy, and also she has that Master Assassin. On top of that, right away they go for Cyclops, and he's hurt pretty bad. So what we're going to do on our agent's turn is use the Goblin Glider on Emma Frost. It does basically no damage. But the main reason we target her was because we wanted to get combat reflexes. Next she uses War Diamond on Cable, but he's immune to stun, so that's okay. But the bad news for us is she follows it up with a Psychic Tap, so he does have Mental Anguish. Also, Cable cannot recharge, so that means he's going to have to attack on his next turn, and he's going to be taking that damage. With Cyclops, we did get to use Evasive Maneuvers, so our entire team has combat expertise. Next, we're debating what we want to do, and we may just go ahead and use that level 1 on their agent. So it doesn't do a ton of damage, then they're going to heal, but at least we don't get counterattacked. Next it's going to be Elektra's turn, and she chooses to use Rain of Blood. So that hits everyone on our team, and places Internal Bleeding, as well as Hobbled and Ravaged. So now our attacks are no longer stealthy, unless we can get our agent to go, so that's why we're going to use Temporal Shift. Now he'll be able to use Scroll of Anglob whenever it's his turn. Then with Cable, even though he has Mental Anguish, we're going to have to choose which attack we want to use. So let's go ahead and switch over to Techno-Organic Overdrive. And then we're going to use his level 1 on their agent. But first, let's go ahead and weigh our options here. We could try to stun their entire team with a catastrophic move, or we could just use that psionic spikes. And that's exactly what we decided to use after all. So we hit with that, we cause off balance, cornered, and winded. And then we're going to get a follow-up attack due to flanked. The bad part, of course, is we take quite a bit of damage for mental anguish. Their agent's at 8,000 health, and we should be able to finish them off with an attack from our agent. And remember, we got this extra turn due to temporal shift. So Cable is absolutely amazing right now. And if you didn't already love him before, you definitely will after his changes. Let's go ahead and use the glider on their agent. That'll definitely finish them off. Let's see how big of a hit it is. 18k, not too big, but it's plenty enough damage, and we had flanked. Then we're going to get another attack, so we'll use Warbringer Axe on Emma Frost. I personally love using Warbringer Axe on Emma. Wow, I can't even believe we're going to get a third attack with our agent, due to finish the fight. So a second Warbringer Axe takes Emma Frost down. Now we only have Elektra remaining. At first I was tempted to use his level 1 to place flanked and also so Master Assassin wouldn't proc. But instead we're going to use his level 2, that way she's off balanced and won't counterattack. And fortunately, unlike with Rogue and Ares, we have plenty of ranged attacks to kill Elektra with this team. She does assassinate Cable, so that's going to be the end of him. But then we're going to use the Goblin Glider. And I don't think she's going to live through it. So there's a 33k hit, and that's the end of the battle. It's also the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed this first look at Uncanny Cyclops. If you liked the video, please leave a rating. And make sure to subscribe. There's plenty more Chapter 2 videos coming. Lastly, I just want to thank you all for watching. And say good luck and take care.